Hello students, good morning all. Today we are going to start a new chapter which is The Adventure of Toto from your Moments book. This story is written by Ruskin Bond, who is a famous Indian author of British descent. He is considered to be an icon among Indian writers and children's authors and a top novelist. So, here, The Adventure of Toto is an amusing story by Ruskin Bond highlighting the antics of a mischievous monkey. So, without wasting our time, let's start it. Have you ever heard of baby monkey as a pet? No, I don't think so. People they can't dare to have a monkey as a pet. We can have dogs, parrots, rabbits, even turtles, but monkey? It sounds awkward. So Toto is a baby monkey. Let's find out whether he is mischievous or docile. So let's start reading. Grandfather bought Toto from a Tonga driver for the sum of 5 rupees. The Tonga driver used to keep the little red monkey tied to a feeding trough, and the monkey looked so out of place there that grandfather decided he would add the little fellow to his private zoo. Feeding trough means a large container for feeding animals, and Tonga means horse cart. So the writer's grandfather purchased a monkey named Toto from a Tonga driver by paying 5 rupees to him. The Tonga driver had tied the little red colored monkey to a large container for feeding animals so that he could not run away. When the writer's grandfather saw the monkey, he had a desire to add him to the collection of animals which he had in his zoo at home. Now, Toto was a pretty monkey. His bright eyes sparkled with mischief beneath deep set eyebrows, and his teeth, which were pearly white, were very often displayed in a smile that frightened the life out of elderly Anglo Indian ladies. But his hands looked dried up as though they had been pickled in the sun for many years. Yet his fingers were quick and wicked, and his tail, while adding to his good looks, grandfather believed a tail would add to anyone's good looks, also served as a third hand. He could use it to hang from a branch, and it was capable of scooping up any delicacy that might be out of reach of his hands. So, here Anglo Indian means a person relating to both Britain and India. Pickled means food that is preserved in a vinegar. Scooping up means lifting. So the writer gives a description of Toto here. He had bright, shiny eyes which were full of mischief. The eyebrows were deeply set on his face. His teeth were white like pearls. Many ladies belonging to the Anglo Indian community got scared when they saw his teeth, which were displayed when he smiled. Toto's hands were dry and wrinkled as if they had been dried in sun like pickled vegetables. He had a long tail. The writer's grandfather thought the tail added to the good looks or smartness of an animal. Toto's tail was like a third hand for him. It helped him hang from a branch of a tree. He also used it to pick objects which were beyond his hand's reach. Now, grandmother always first when grandfather brought home some new bird or animal. So it was decided that Toto's presence should be kept a secret from her until she was in particularly good mood. Grandfather and I put him away in a little closet opening into my bedroom wall, where he was tied securely, or so we thought, to a peg fastened into the wall. So here first means worried, closet means almirah, or you can say cupboard, peg means a hook, and fastened means attached. So the writer's grandmother was against the grandfather's attitude of bringing new pets, birds, and animals at home. So the grandfather thought that they would conceal this fact from her until she was in a good mood. At that time, they would disclose this to her. The writer and his grandfather secured Toto in a little cupboard or almirah in the writer's room. In order to be sure that Toto did not try to escape, they tied him to a hook attached with the wall. A few hours later, when grandfather and I came back to release Toto, we found that the walls, which had been covered with some ornamental paper chosen by grandfather, now stood out as naked brick and plaster. The peg in the wall had been wrenched from its socket, and my school blazer, which had been hanging there, was in shreds now. So, ornamental here, decorative. Naked means uncovered, wrenched means broke, socket means attachment, and shreds means cut into thin slices or rags, you can say. So, the writer and his grandfather went to Toto after a few hours. The sight was shocking. Toto had torn the decorative wallpaper. He had broken the hook and escaped from his binding. Also, he tore the writer's school blazer into rags. I wondered grandmother would say what grandmother would say, but grandfather didn't worry. He seemed pleased with Toto's performance. He is clever, said grandfather. Given time, I am sure he could have tied the torn pieces of your blazer into a rope and made his escape from the window. So here the writer was worried that his grandmother would be angry if she saw it, but the grandfather was quite delighted to see Toto's adventure. He felt that Toto was very sharp minded or clever, you can say. He said that if they would have given him more time, he would have tied the rags of the writer's torn blazer into a fine rope and would have escaped out of the window. Now, his presence in the house still a secret. Toto was now transferred to a big case in the servants' quarter where a number of grandfather's pets lived very sociably together. A tortoise, a pair of rabbits, a tame squirrel, and for a while my pet goat. But the monkey wouldn't allow any of his companions to sleep at night. So grandfather, who had to leave Dehradun next day to collect his pension in Saharanpur, decided to take him along. Here, sociably means in a friendly manner. So Toto's presence was not disclosed to the grandmother yet. It was shifted to the servants' quarter. He was put in a big case. He would live with the other pets in grandfather's zoo. The zoo comprised of a tortoise, a pair of white rabbits, a squirrel, and the writer's pet goat. Toto was very naughty. He teased other animals and did not let them sleep at night. The writer's grandfather had to go to Saharanpur next day to collect his pension. So he decided to take Toto along with his because he was unmanageable for everyone in his absence. Now let's forward. Unfortunately, I could not accompany grandfather on that trip, but he told me about it afterwards. A big black canvas kit bag was provided for Toto. This, with some straw at the bottom, became his new abode. When the bag was closed, there was no escape. Toto could not get his hands through the opening, and the canvas was too strong for him to bite his way through. His efforts to get out only had the effect of making the bag roll about on the floor or occasionally jump into the air. An exhibition that attracted a curious crowd of onlookers on the Dehradun railway platform. Here, canvas means a rough cloth, abode means home. So the writer was disappointed as he could not go with his grandfather and Toto on the trip. His grandfather narrated the happenings of the trip to him after his return. He had got a special bag for Toto. It was made of strong material, that is, canvas. He placed some dry grass at the bottom of the bag. On the trip, the bag would be Toto's home as he would live in it. The bag had a zipper on its top, and the writer's grandfather ensured that when the bag was closed, Toto would not be able to escape out of it. Neither could he come out of the opening as it was closed with a zipper, nor could it bite the strong canvas material in order to run away. Still, Toto made unsuccessful attempts to come out of the bag. Due to this, many times the bag would roll on the floor or it would certainly jump into the air. So these movements were noticed by the people on the railway platform and made them curious to know that what was inside that bag. Toto remained in the bag as far as Saharanpur. But while grandfather was producing his ticket at the railway turnstile, Toto suddenly poked his head out of the bag and gave the ticket collector a wide grin. Here, turnstile means a rotating mechanical device that controls passage between public areas to allow any one person at a time to pass through. And grin means big smile that reveals the teeth also. So Toto remained secured in grandfather's bag till Saharanpur. At the Saharanpur railway station, the writer's grandfather was taking out his ticket to cross the turnstile. At that time, Toto peeked out of the bag and gave a big smile to the ticket collector. The poor man was taken aback, but with great presence of mind and much to grandfather's annoyance, he said, "Sir, you have a dog with you. You will have to pay for it accordingly." Taken aback means surprised, annoyance means to anger someone. The ticket collector was astonished to see a monkey in grandfather's bag. But he recovered quickly and asked grandfather to pay the ticket money for travelling with a dog. Then, in vain did grandfather take Toto out of the bag. In vain did he try to prove that a monkey didn't qualify as a dog or even as a quadruped. Toto was classified a dog by the ticket collector, and 3 rupees was the sum handed over his fare. So here vain means an unsuccessful attempt and quadruped means a four-legged animal. Grandfather was unsuccessful in explaining to the ticket collector that Toto was a monkey, not a dog. He insisted that Toto was not even an animal with 4 feet. But the ticket collector was firm that Toto fell in the category of dogs, so grandfather had to pay 3 rupees extra for Toto's ticket. Now, then grandfather, just to get his own bag, took from his pocket our pet tortoise and said, "What must I pay for this, since you charge for all animals?" So here, to get his own bag is an idiom that means to take revenge. Now, the grandfather was disappointed as in order to take revenge from the ticket collector, he took out our little tortoise from his pocket and he asked if he was supposed to pay a ticket for it too. Now, the ticket collector looked closely at the tortoise, prodded it with his forefinger, gave grandfather a pleased and triumphant look and said, "No charge. It is not a dog." Prodded means pushed or touched. So the ticket collector took a close look at the tortoise, pushed it slightly and declared that the grandfather was not required to buy a ticket for it, as it did not fall in the category of a dog. So after that, what would happen? We'll know in the next part of this chapter. Till then, read it again, revise it, learn new things and take care of you. Thank you. Stay safe, stay home.